Hello, who up slopping they content? It's been a minute since I did some fucking bullshit and not just my regular videos. But 2 days ago, I saw a post on Twitter that was like, "Hey, the Anime Awards nominations are up," and I was like, "Oh shit, it's that time already?" Because I truly don't remember when last year's even happened, but I guess they did, like a year ago. Very astute observation from me. But last year I went through the nominees and I think last year it didn't let me vote, so I just went through and I was like, this is what I would vote for, and then I voted off camera. Um, so provided I'm logged in this time, like if it lets me do it, I'll do it. Uh, Remember to vote. Your voice matters. But the only thing I've seen, if we go through the categories, which it looks like there's more now, but maybe there's not. Um, I saw a tweet saying all the animes of the year, like all the nominees for that one, but that's the only one. Which it is a little cringe, in my opinion, that it's the first one. You'd think you would save the best for last, but also I assume maybe a lot of people are like, I only care about voting for the number one thing, and then I don't want to. I really don't give a fuck about doing the must protect at all costs character poll because I can't believe that's still in there. I remember lamenting it last year, being like, hey, that's kind of fucking gay, but it's still there. Let's just go through it. Fuck looking at the nominees, the categories. Anime of the year. Let's see here. We have Dandadan Season 2, Gachi Akuta, My Hero Academia The Final Season, Takopi's Original Sin, Apothecary Diary Season 2, and The Summer Hikaru Died. Okay, the only thing I've not seen here is Apothecary Diary Season 2, which is something that people love. People really, really. I watched Season 1 a couple months ago and I thought it was just fine. But I know Season 2 is what people like really, really like come over. Um, if we were going off what I think is the best thing here, it's like leaps and bounds. It's Takopi's Original Sin. Um, I remember being. I wanted to watch it. Like since I first saw the poster, and I was like, "Oh, what's this? This looks interesting." I watched it all in one sitting. It's only like a handful of episodes, so it only took a couple hours. Well, I think it's like sub 12 episodes, even. I think it might only be 8, but every episode I'm like the edge of my seat, like oh my, it's so fucking miserable. It's such a devastating show. It's like misery porn. It's so good. Oh my god. Like I don't want to even say what it's about because I think it's something people should just go watch. I remember the stuff that happens in the show is like pretty fucked up, and I remember telling my buddy, I was like, hey man, have you watched this? It's crazy. And he was like, oh no, but I read the manga. And I was like, oh dude, it's so fucked up, right? Isn't it so funny? And he was like, no, it isn't funny at all. It's really, really sad. And I'm like, no, 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 that's why it's funny. That's why like it's hilarious. Come on, dap me up, man. um but yeah, I think I gave Takopi's Sin a like 10 out of 10 when I like ranked it on AniList or whatever. um if we were going off what's my favorite thing here, like Takopi's is the best, but I do love Dandadan. I've read the manga for Dandadan twice now, at least what's out. Well, not everything that's out, because the ones I caught up last time I've just kept caught up and haven't reread it a third time. Um, Summer Hikaru Died was good. Hero Final Season was good. Gachi Akuta's good. Although I think Gachi Akuta, the end of season 1 is what's like the best, and it really comes into its own once it'll hit season 2. So I don't think this will win. Well, actually, I know last year Solo Leveling swept the award, so it could really just be like what's the most normie friendly. So in that, if that's the case, to fucking pull my pants up to my nipples to be like, well, a real anime fan would vote for this. No, I don't think Takopi or Hikaru will like make the running because they're not as like normie friendly as any of the other things. Like My Hero was a huge normie anime, and then these two. I know reading online that people think a lot of the annoying fucking My Hero fan base moved over to being Gachi Akuta fans, which from what I have read online, that does seem to be the case. They're really, really fucking imagine Tumblr fans, but now they're a fan of this series in particular. Um, and they're all great, right? I mean, I don't know if this is great. I haven't seen it, but if I had to guess, I would assume. I wonder if people would give more points to My Hero for being the final season, because I think people love Dandadan and people love Apothecary Diaries. So I wonder if this would win. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of like a four-way deadlock between Dandadan, Gachiakuta, My Hero, and Apothecary Diaries. Well, these two don't stand a chance in hell, unfortunately, because I do think this is like this sweeps. With like maybe I would watch Apothecary Diaries season 2 and be like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. But I did it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna vote for Takopi. That's my guy. Don't let me vote. Don't let me vote. All right, it's not letting me vote, so I'll just vote later. It's fine. Why do you cuck me like this? I think last time it didn't let me do it on my computer and I had to do it on my phone. I don't remember all the details. It's been a year, and I'm rapidly aging into dust. But yeah, I would vote for Takopi. If you can go watch Takopi, you should do it. Or you should go watch Summer Hikaru Died so you can see the raw chicken scene. Anyway, next category. Film of the year. Ooh, I watch movies way less than I watch TV shows, so have I seen these? Okay, I've seen 100 Meters, it was good. I've seen Chainsaw Man, it was good. Haven't seen the Demon Slayer movie. The Rose of Versailles, I've never even heard of that. Scarlet, I've been meaning to watch that. I know they just released that on digital, I think. And then Mononoke, the movie, Chapter 2, The Ashes of Rage. I think the first movie of that is on Netflix, but I haven't watched it. So, I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that just like the whole bottom three has no fucking chance in hell. Maybe the Rose of Versailles will get like some boost due to being Mappa, and people will be like, "Oh, that's the studio that did JJK." But because it's the Normie Awards, really, it'll probably be Chainsaw Man or Demon Slayer. Not that they're bad. I mean, I haven't seen the Demon Slayer movie. I have heard some bad things about it though. Chainsaw Man movie I thought was great. I'm a little biased because it's my favorite part of the whole manga, but the movie was fucking awesome. And 100 Meters was good enough. It had really, really cool animation moments, a lot of cool techniques like rotoscoping and shit at play. The dialogue was fucking awful. Like, it was like a 50-50 shot whether or not a scene would have like characters just be normal or if they would be like, you need to lock in and follow your dreams and realize that even if you're not good enough, one day you will be good enough and you will win that race. And it's like, okay, Jesus, shut up. Yeah. So I've seen only two of these, unfortunately. I mean, I've read the whole manga for Demon Slayer, so I know what happens here. At least I don't know how they cut it up, but the last arc of Demon Slayer is when it kind of lost me. Like by like Demon Slayer was like a there's like peaks and valleys where like the very beginning I don't like a lot, and then like once you hit the Infinity Train, is that what it's called? No, Demon Train, whatever. The Demon Train shit, and then everything beyond that I like. And then you hit Infinity Castle, and I think it's just kind of like a 6 out of 10 range for like the rest of the manga until the ending. The ending is some triple S tier. How the fuck did they come up with this ending? But I would vote for Chainsaw Man, probably. I mean, of the two, I think I would rather rewatch Chainsaw Man than 100 Meters. Yeah. But I guess I fucked up by not instantly watching Scarlet. Although, as far as I know, this only like just came out on digital, like within the last 2 weeks. So I didn't know this one existed, and I haven't seen the first movie of this one. So why would I watch this? But yeah, that's a vote for Chainsaw Man. Next category. Best Continuing Series. Okay, Dandadan Season 2, Kaiju number 8, Season 2 I assume, My Hero Season 3, One Piece, Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadow. Gee, it's called that? That's fucking cringe. And Spy Family Season 3. I have seen all of these except for Kaiju number 8 Season 2. I kind of forgot that came out. This is a tougher category than I would have assumed, because it's a lot of things that I really, really like, and also Solo Leveling is here. Because we got Dandadan Season 2, which is great. Although I think what will be Season 3 and Season 4 of Dandadan is actually my favorite stuff that's happened in the manga. So maybe I wouldn't vote for that. Kaiju number 8, Season 2, I don't remember what happens at that point. I think, well, it's a series where they fight monsters, so I'm going to go on a limb and assume they fight some monsters. The final season of My Hero was pretty good. I love One Piece. It's like on my Mount Rushmore of shit that I love. It like Dragon Ball and One Piece would be on my Mount Rushmore. And then obviously Solo Leveling would take up the other two spots. And then Spy Family Season 3 was really good. I think, from my own personal bias, I prefer Don and One Piece to everything else here. Spy Family Season 3 was really good. I watched it like a month or two ago. I don't love the ending to My Hero, so I think I would maybe dock some points from that. Solo Leveling Season 2 is fine. It, you know, Sung Jinu is epic. Isn't he so awesome? And I wake up and I look in the mirror and I'm like, what if I was Sung Jinu? Yeah, I think I would probably give it to One Piece, especially because if this was for its stuff last year, so that means it would include the Kuma backstory, which is like one of the best backstories in One Piece. Egghead is when they like have some really really fucking crazy sexy animation, like them fighting on Egghead against the four emperors, or like even Zoro versus Rob Lucci, even though it's like a 2 second long fight. It's fucking it's got me bricked up right now talking about it. So yeah, I think I would if I was gonna like go in order, I would probably do One Piece, then Don or Spy Family, maybe like interchangeable. Then My Hero, then Kaiju, then Solo Leveling. Although I haven't seen Kaiju, I've read the whole manga, but I haven't seen this season. So maybe just by default, we should put Solo Leveling over that, even though, you know, I wouldn't. Whatever. I would One Piece. My vote goes to One Piece. Next category. Best new series. Okay, I watch a lot of shit. I watch a lot of shit. Hopefully, I've seen this. Clevitis, Gachiakuta, Sakamoto Days, Takopi's Original Sin, The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, and The Summer Hikaru Died. Okay, so I've seen all of these except for The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, dog shit name. I don't know what that is. I assume it's about these two fucking each other, based on the name and the box art, the movie poster. You know what I mean. Clevitis was like relatively mid after like the first episode was awesome, and then there was a short lore about a character whose name I don't even remember, and then after that it falls off a cliff. Gachiakuta I quite like. I really like Sakamoto Days. I like everything I've seen here, even though Clevitis is just mid. My cat's screaming. But I mean, this is an easy vote for Takopi's Original Sin. If I had to not vote for that, then I would probably vote for either Gachiakuta or Sakamoto Days, maybe. Summer Hikaru Died was also pretty good. Fuck, that's hard. I'm the most familiar with Sakamoto Days because I've been reading that the longest. Like, I've read the manga for these two. I had a lot of fun watching Sakamoto Days, more than Gachiakuta, I think. So I think if Takopi wasn't here, because the vote obviously goes to Takopi, it would go to Sakamoto Days. I think we'd do Takopi, Sakamoto, and then either Gachiakuta or Summer Hikaru Died, although I am more shonen battle pilled than I am horror yaoi pilled. So, although Summer Hikaru Died is really interesting, I've been meaning to read the manga, although I haven't. Next category. Best Original Anime. I wonder if I've seen any of these. Apocalypse Hotel, Digimon Beat Break, Lazarus, Mobile Suit Gundam Jaqueeks, Moonrise, and Zenshu. Okay, so I've actually seen half of these. I've not seen Apocalypse Hotel. I think I was going to watch it, but I didn't get around to it. I haven't started Digimon Beat Break. Digimon always has a cycle where a new show will come out, and I'm like, new Digimon! And I revert back to my 4-year-old self, and I'm like, Agumon's so epic! And then I don't watch it. I still haven't watched the last show. Because the last 3 Digimon that came out was the Digimon Adventure reboot, which I did watch, and it was not very good. Digimon Ghost Game, which everyone says is awesome, and I haven't even started. And then now Digimon Beat Break, which I've been meaning to watch. Haven't. I kind of want to watch Ghost Game before I get to Beat Break. So maybe by the time I go watch Ghost Game, Beat Break can be done. Digimon anime are typically like 50 episodes, so I think they're in the 20 range right now. So they're not even like really halfway done, unless they've breached 25. I don't know. I did watch Lazarus. It was the most fucking mid show I've ever seen in the whole world. It was by Mappa, that makes sense. It was a really pretty show, but it was by the guy that did Cowboy Bebop, the guy that did Samurai Champloo, and the guy that did Space Dandy. So, he's capable of peak because he made Space Dandy, and then he's capable of slop because he made Cowboy Bebop. That's a meme. I haven't finished Cowboy Bebop. I watched 4 episodes and then didn't keep going. But I was like, oh, time to. I never finished Cowboy Bebop, but Samurai Champloo and Space Dandy are both really good. So I was like, okay. And everyone says Cowboy Bebop is good, so maybe this guy, nothing but bangers. So I watched Lazarus, and it's a what are we, some kind of Sewer Slide Squad, the anime show, but if it was not fun, if all the characters were boring as shit, and the action was really surface level. So I think I gave it, I'll have a look-see. I'll have a look on my anime list. Should make a My Anime List account. How do I spell it? Looking right at it. Well, I gave it a 5, which is the most. Whenever I give something a 5, it means it wasn't dog shit, but it also wasn't good enough to get even a 6. So it's the most, like. I guess I said it already. It's the most whatever show ever. So, like, you could get something out of it. I think if you watched, like, one episode every now and again, instead of watching it all in one night like I did, like, that really. Maybe if I watched it weekly, I would have liked it more, but also maybe if I watched it weekly, I would have just abandoned it. Who knows? Then we got Mobile Suit Gundam Jaqueeks. I watched this because that name fucking rules. Why the fuck is it called Mobile Suit Gundam GQUUUUUUX? And they outright pronounce it Jaqueeks. It started pretty interesting, and like the fight scenes were really awesome. It was the first Gundam show I ever watched. I remember being a little baby boy and being like, big robots? That's pretty fucking lame. I'm not watching this. I would turn the channel when Gundam would come on TV. I don't feel that way now. I actually think, big robots are... You know what? Big robots are actually pretty cool. I took the plunge because the name was funny. And it was good, but it's so very clearly like an anniversary style series where it's like you need to have watched other Gundams to mostly understand what they're getting at. Even despite me not getting that part of it, I still thought it was enjoyable enough. It also, I want to watch other Gundam stuff now. I haven't, and it's been months since I watched this, but I liked it enough that maybe one day I can be a Gundam super fan. Moonrise, I have not watched this. I actually heard this was bad. According to various Reddit comments, this one was dog shit. So I'm surprised it's even here. Wit Studio, usually makes good shit. And then we have what I would vote for, Zenchu, by Mappa, which is very ironic because there's a show about a overworked animator dying and isekaiing into her favorite movie and being able to, like, save the world that she so loves dearly with the power of animation, where for some reason in this other world, we're getting attacked by goblins, and she can like lock in and like animate a scene to like save them in that moment. It was so fucking good, and it's like also a very like cute love story about her falling in love with the main character in the movie. And one of the better episodes was like a flashback of the main girl, and like it was multiple scenes of her being like that meme of like me and the bad bitch I pulled by being autistic, but like like that could be the title of the episode. It was such a fucking good show. I remember I thought the box art was awesome. The name is cool. I thought, the premise sounded good, and I was blown away by how much I liked it. I think this is an example of a show I ended up giving a 10 out of 10 on AniList. I fucking love this show. Talking about it makes me want to rewatch it. So that's my vote. Yeah, best original anime, Zenchu. Like if I was gonna list the one, I would go Zenchu, Jaqueeks, Lazarus, because this got a 10. I'm not gonna look, but I think I gave this like a 7 or an 8, and then I gave this a 5 because it's fucking mid. I've been meaning to watch these two, and then I'll watch this one day. If I had to guess, I assume I would like this the best out of these three. Digimon shows, vary in quality. Everyone said this was bad, so I'm just gonna. I agree with you, random Redditors. It is dog shit. No, I will not do my homework. Alright, next category. Best Animation. Dandadan Season 2, Gachi Akuta, My Hero Academy, the final season, One Piece, Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadow, Arise, and Takopi's Original Sin. Lot of fucking bangers here. Holy shit. That's fucking cringe. Is this just gonna be me voting for the same thing every time? Where I'm like, well, One Piece is there, Takopi's there, so they get the vote. Gachi Yakata did have some crazy shit at the end of the season that like was pretty mouth watering. I don't know why I say that. I think My Hero had some good shit too, but I can't fully remember. It's been a minute since it ended. Solo Leveling, Solo Leveling, you're here because you're a Nepo baby and you won last year a lot. I don't remember there being that impressive of shit in Solo Leveling Season 2. I remember, I don't love Solo Leveling, so the only scene I remember loving is the scene where he is fighting to get the magic potion or whatever the fuck that'll cure his mom from the turbo coma, and he loses all his weaponry, and I think his shadows aren't there to help him fight, and he locks in, and then he's like, "Who the hell do you think I am?" And then he one taps the bad guy, and that's, I'm not gonna pretend that isn't a get hype moment, and that's not cool, because it was cool, and that scene looked good. But if you were like, any other scenes that look remarkable, fuck if I can remember that. Don to Don, it's like any scene where action takes place looks incredible, basically. Gachiaka at the end looks amazing. I don't remember that one scene. Takopi is kind of a weird one where just like the whole show looks really, really pretty, and like the way all the characters are really like bouncy and cartoony in a way. And then One Piece, when One Piece locks in and has scenes like when Gear 5 Luffy is going crazy on the Five Elders, it's like, and maybe this is my bias coming forward, but it's like the best that you can have. So this is actually really, really hard, especially when it's shit from last year. And I'm like, well, the thing I watched most recently was one of these two. I think it was this technically, because I think I finished this off 2 months ago. And honestly, because this is the second last thing I finished, you'd think I would remember it better, but I don't. Fuck. I hope Solo Leveling doesn't win this category just because it's Solo Leveling. That would actually piss me off. That would grind my gears. I don't know what to vote for. I don't want to give it to Takopi because it looks pretty the whole time. It doesn't have the get hype of it all of One Piece or Don to Don. Maybe I would give it to Don to Don because it's more consistent, just because it's 12 episodes. And One Piece, you could go like a couple episodes stretch of like normal tier animation and not the sexy Sakuga. Let's say this one I vote Don to Don unless I change my mind at some point. Unless when I go back through and I'm not on camera and I'm like, I'll just vote for Takopi because no one can see me now. No. Let's give that one to Don to Don. Next category. Best character design. Got Don to Don Season 2, Gachi Akata, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, Apothecary Diary Season 2, Takopi's Original Sin, and One Piece. Herm. My Dress Up Darling's that's a pretty interesting one to have in there, because it's a show about people cosplaying, so like the air quotes best character designs you're going to see is when the girl is like, I want to cosplay this girl from this game, and then she like gets her tits in her ass out, and that's why it's the winner. No, it's been a minute since I watched Dress Up Darling. I don't even remember who she cosplays in that season. All I remember, because no, I swear I'm not a weird pervert. No. There's a scene in Season 1, and this would be the equivalent of the scene in Season 2, where in Season 1 there's a scene where it just like full zooms in on her jiggling her tits around, and it's like really well animated, and it's like, alright. And then hell yeah, brother. And then in Season 2 the equivalent is there's a scene where she's like bent over shaking her ass, and it zooms in, and it's she's cosplaying someone in that scene is what I'm saying, but I don't remember. I don't think Dress Up Darling will win this category. Apothecary Diary Season 1, a lot of the characters looked exactly the same. so I don't know. Maybe that changes in season 2, but I doubt it. Takopi, other than Takopi the little alien guy, they're just normal like Japanese kids. Uh, so like instead of character design, you would have to give it to like art direction, I guess. Like the way that all the characters are stylized. I guess that no, that's character design. Gachi Yakuta is like heavily inspired by Soul Eater, so all the Gachi Yakuta has some good shit. Like Rio looks fucking awesome. But then you have the more generic character designs of like Rudo or Zonka. There's the girl that uses her hair to fight that looks really cool. I don't think Gachi Yakuta will win this one. I think the cooler things, instead of just outright character design, is when the characters are using their abilities. Then Dandadan might win this one. Whenever a character turns into like a yokai form, they look fucking awesome. One Piece this is when they get we get to see what the five elders are, like what their whole deal is, and they're not just old guys. And they look fucking awesome, especially in the like liquidy Sakuga animation. Another hard one. It's hard when it's four things that I fucking love. I mean, Dress Up Darling Season 2 was good too, I just don't think it'll win this category. And then I haven't seen Apothecary Diary. So it's kind of like, I would be fine with voting for any of them. Like, if I, like, in reverse order, I think Takopi doesn't stand a chance comparatively to these three, because they're normal kids. Then Gachi Akuta, the characters are cool, but they're not, like, super duper cool to look at. I think maybe, would I give this one, it's hard. Egghead, you know, see Awakened Rob Lucci, the Five Elders, Vegapunk for the first time. God damn. I don't know. You know, in the moment, I don't know. I would give it to either One Piece or Dandadan, but you know, those are two of my favorite things ever. So it is sad to see. You know, I feel a little heartbroken when I can't just vote for my goat Takopi. But yeah, let's say One Piece or Dandadan could get that one. Best Director. Okay, fuck. Akinori Fudesaka and Norihiro Naganuma for Apothecary Diaries. Fuga Yamashiro and Abel Gongora for Dandadan. Fumihiko Suganuma for Gachiakuta. Kenji Nagasaki and Naomi Nakayama from My Hero. Ryohei Takeshita from Summer Hikaru Died. And Shinya Linyo from Takopi. Now, last year, I think the only reason I could even vote for this category was because they had One Piece fan letter on here, and I could spend like a day and a half glazing that episode. I'm way less familiar in terms of it for whole shows and not a single episode like that. But, so maybe, you know, maybe I would just be like, Takopi gets it. It's hard to say. Maybe, I think last year I said if there was categories I didn't know enough about, I would just abstain. So maybe I would just do that. But let's move on because I can't deliberate on this one. Best Background Art. City the Animation. Kowloon Generic Romance. Dandadan Season 2. The Apothecary Diary Season 2. Gachi Akuta and the Summer Hikaru Died. Okay, so I've only seen Dandadan, Gachi Akuta, and Hikaru. Not seen Apothecary Diary Season 2. Kowloon Generic Romance was not good. And then City the Animation I have not seen. As far as I'm aware, it's a comedy show. Based like, there was like, the person that made this made another comedy manga like 10 years ago or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not looking at the background. I'm looking at the characters. Shit. This is like, I don't know. Is that something people are paying attention to? Not me, clearly. And then, yeah, all I can think about is how I did not fuck with Kowloon at all. It was, what they went for wasn't for me. The background art was just like city buildings. So maybe I think like Gachi Akuta might get it because it's the most visually distinct of the ones that I've seen. Because Dandadan is set in a normal Japan, apart from the like fucked up stuff that happens. Hikaru is set in middle of nowhere Japan, so it's not. I'll just say Gachi Yakuza. I'm not well versed enough in being like an artist to be like, oh, the background art, yippee. Best romance. Okay, Blue Box. Was that last year? Huh. Don Don Season 2, Honey Lemon Soda, Dress Up Darling Season 2, Ranma Season 2, and The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. I hate that name so fucking much. Um, I have seen 4 out of 6. I've not seen Honey Lemon Soda. I don't know what that is. I know JC Staff is the company that fucked up One Punch Man Season 2 and 3, so maybe Death to Honey Lemon Soda. Fragrant Flower I've not seen. I think people liked this one, though. Oh, it's also by Cloverworks? I wonder if it's as pretty as Dress Up Darling. Now, that's interesting. It's interesting that Don Don's there, because there is the romance element of Okarun wanting Momo, and then Ira wanting Okarun, and then they kind of play with Gigi wanting Momo, but I honestly have not believed that the entire time I've read the manga. Even in the newest chapter, is like Gigi going on a date with Momo, and it doesn't feel like he wants her like that, but maybe that's me being like, she needs to fuck Okarun. I don't know. Blue Box, I liked Blue Box, although it is so fucking devastating that they really make you think he's gonna pick the best friend girl, and then season 1 ends with him being like, hey best friend girl, I'm sorry, but I really, really want to fuck that other girl so bad, so I don't pick you. I've been meaning to read the manga for Blue Box, but I haven't gotten around to it. And clearly it's been a whole year since I watched the show, so that one got away from me, admittedly. Oops, whoops, yips. Dress Up Darling is a pretty good romance series. I do like that she like falls in love with him pretty quickly, and it's not just like dork ass guy who wants to fuck the popular girl, which he does, but it's not like that's the whole like setup of the show, is that like they're both interested in one another, but she's like fallen more for him than he has. And I even think season 2 was more about him being less autistic and being able to make friends than it was about him being like, I need to fuck. I forget her name, so I'll cut that off real quick. And then we have Ranma, which the whole premise is that Ranma is set to be engaged to Akane Tendo, and then a lot of people in the school were like, but I want to fuck Akane. So I challenge you to a duel, Ranma. And him being like, I don't even want her like that. But then when Ranma is presented with our Lord and Savior Shampoo-chan, and she's like, Ranma, please fuck me right now in front of everyone. I don't even care. He's like, oh, I can't do that. I'm engaged to Akane. I do think season 2 was a little bit better for progressing the Ranma-Akane relationship. Now, the author, Rumiko Takahashi, is pretty good at romance. I think there's romance in everything she's done that I'm aware of. Inuyasha, this, Urusei Yatsura all have romance in it. I know a lot of people like love the Inuyasha romance. They're like, it's one of the best to ever do it. I do, and I think Inuyasha has the benefit of being 700 chapters long, so you really get to be like, they love each other, goddammit. I think I would probably give it to... I wouldn't give it to Don Don Don, even though it's probably my favorite thing here. Ranma would probably be my second favorite thing here, but I like Ranma. It progressed the relationship nicely in season 2, but what I got out of watching Ranma wasn't the relationship aspect of it. It was like how fun the like duels for the right to fuck Akane are. So I think I would give it to... Would I give it to Blue Box, maybe? It's kind of... I could go either way, any which way, of Blue Box, Ranma, or Dress Up Darling, I think. The one I've seen the most of is because I've read all of Don Don Don. I know kind of where the Okarun Momo stuff is going, and it goes well. But in terms of what I want to see more of, it's probably Ranma the most, and then Blue Box. But I think Blue Box is more of an actual romance series, while Ranma is an action series with a coating of frosting of romance. Let's give it to Blue Box and then move on to the next category. Best Comedy. City of the Animation, Ranma, Don Don Don, Dress Up Darling Season 2, Spy Family, and Witch Watch. Huh. So the only one I've not seen here is City, the animation. I know people really like the previous work of whoever did City. Don't know why Dandadan's here. Like, it has funny moments, I guess, but it's not... comedy is not a word I would use to describe that show. So I'm gonna... Even though, again, it's probably my favorite thing here, I'm not gonna vote for it. Dress Up Darling I also don't think is all that funny. I think a lot of the comedy is through, like, misunderstandings of relationship drama of the main guy and the girl. I know there's a scene that's played for laughs where she thinks him and her are gonna, like, fuck each other, and he instead stays awake all night playing a horror video game. And it's like, ha ha ha, she got it wrong. Spy Family and Witch Watch are more outright comedies. They're kind of like action comedies mixed. Ranma was pretty funny. I did go into the episode really not liking the one episode where there's like an old guy that does nothing but essay all the women, and then they like do something where they put a patch onto his clothing where if he gets close to women he smells so disgustingly like shit that they run away, and he by the end of the episode he's like withering and turning into dust, and he's like, my life force can only be sustained by touching young hotties. And they're like, oh man, I kind of feel bad for him, he's dying. Okay, we'll take the patch off you. And he's like, you'll really let me touch you? And I don't know. Spy Family, I think Witch Watch is actually the funniest thing here. So I would probably vote for Witch Watch. Well, Witch Watch is really, really hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? In terms of, you can have really funny episodes, like the one episode I mentioned in my other video, where all the characters use magic to extend their body lengths, and they all look like fucking freaks. And there's like body horror to the comedy. That was a really good episode. But then you get really, really bad episodes where it's like, oh, the joke is that their like 20-year-old teacher is an otaku and wants to be friends with the one student who's a weeb, and then they become friends and they bond, and it's like, isn't it funny that this adult likes anime? And it's like, oh, it's not that funny. That's pretty normal, actually. So I don't know. I think I would give it to Ranma, then Witch Watch, then Spy Family. Maybe switch Witch Watch and Ranma. But yeah, those two definitely made me laugh more than Spy Family. Although Spy Family is so good. Best action. Okay, before we look, let's do a little guess. Dandadan's going to be there. Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadows is going to be there. Is One Piece going to be there? Gachi Akuta probably, My Hero. There's been 6 every time, right? Yeah. Okay, so I was right across the board and I didn't guess Kaiju because I forget that show exists. What would I give this to? It's definitely either Dandadan or One Piece, obviously. Is this fun, chat? To be like, oh, okay, we get it. This guy likes One Piece and he likes Dandadan. Jesus Christ. I haven't seen Kaiju Season 2. It's the only thing I haven't seen here. Gachi Akutsu's action is fucking baller when they, like, go for it. My Hero, the final season, had Mecha All Might, my favorite fight in My Hero. Solo Leveling Season 2 is fine. It's not what I would vote for. Dandadan Season 2 has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scene. Has the kaiju fight against the giant robot. But Dandadan will like have really cool action going forward. Like next season will be like the peak of Dandadan action. I kind of feel that way about Gachi Akuta Season 2 though. I think, fuck. Am I too broken record if I just vote for Dandadan and One Piece every time? But they're my favorite, so it's what I should fucking vote for, right? Like, that's how voting should work. I shouldn't be like, I'll throw My Hero a bone this time. No. If I was going to tier list it, I think Dandadan, then One Piece, then Gachi Akuta, or My Hero, and then, Solo Leveling, who gives a fuck, and then Kaiju Season 1 was really cool, so maybe Season 2 is just as cool. But yeah. Let's say my vote's for Dandadan. Oh my god, he's such a fucking normie. All he likes is Dandadan. Why don't you watch the fucking vending machine anime, you piece of shit? Best isekai anime. I don't watch that many isekai because it is a genre filled to the brim with slop and diarrhea. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skills. Disney Twisted Wonderland, the animation season 1 episode. It doesn't hover. From bureaucrat to villainess, Dad's been reincarnated. Konosuba, ReZero, Zenchu. So, you know how I just said it was slop diarrhea, and then I read those top three? So those top three would be the dog shit that like permeate the genre, and then the bottom three is an example of things that are actually good. Now I haven't seen Konosuba ReZero season 3. I've only seen season 1 of Konosuba and it's great. I've seen season 1 and 2 and season 2 of ReZero and it's great, and I love Zenchu. I think I would only fucking watch Campfire Cooking in Another World with my absurd skill if I lost a goddamn bet. Like, holy shit, that sounds awful. It's gonna be some fucking dog shit too, where they're like, "Oh my god, we're getting attacked by fucking dragons," and he's like, "I know how to get out of this one," and he starts fucking baking lasagna, and then somehow that wins. God, I hate life. Disney Twisted Wonderland. I wonder, a Disney anime. I wonder what that means. Is it just like Disney Twisted? So is it like Disneyland but it's evil? What says Wonderland? So is it like Alice in Wonderland but evil? And then from bureaucrat to villainess. That one, based on the title, I could assume it might possibly be funny, but not good. Now, I haven't seen these seasons in particular, so I would give this one to Zenchu. I feel like even if I saw these seasons, I would still give it to Zenchu, because Zenchu is my goat. But I did recently start Konosuba Season 2. I think ReZero Season 3 only ended somewhat recently, so I need to get to that. But yeah, Zenchu, my beloved. Best Drama. Anne Shirley, Blue Box, Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Takopi's Original Sin, The Apothecary Diaries, and The Summer Hikaru Died. This is the Anne of Green Gables anime. I didn't watch this. I had planned to, but allegedly my hard drive ran out of space and I couldn't keep allegedly downloading episodes of it. I've been meaning to watch Apothecary Diaries and Orb. I've heard Orb is fucking incredible, and I think, if I remember correctly, the guy that did 100 Meters is the guy that did Orb. I think I read that on Reddit or Twitter or something. I scroll endlessly while I'm fucking alone in my bed at night. So, because I haven't seen half of them, obviously we know I'm a Takopi truther. And I mean, the drama, the stakes of every episode is what is so good about it. Yeah, so I think I would rank it Takopi 1, Summer Hikaru Died 2, Blue Box 3. Because Blue Box, I mean, the drama is just, is he going to fuck Chinatsu or is he going to fuck the other girl? Oh, he's not going to fuck the other girl, he's going to keep trying to fuck Chinatsu? Tune into season 2. And then, like, Takopi and Hikaru Died actually have, like, real stakes. So, I think they serve better as a drama than, whose pussy does he want? So, yeah, Takopi, obviously. Obviously, Takopi. Summer Hikaru Died was so good, though. But Takopi. Best Slice of Life. Ooh, I wonder if I've seen these. Anne Shirley, Blue Box, City, Dress Up Darling Season 2, Spy Family Season 3, and The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Okay, so I've seen half of them. I haven't seen Anne Shirley, I haven't seen City, and I haven't seen Fragrant Flower. Spy Family is an interesting one, because I guess it counts, but it also has, like, action scenes. I think in terms of being an actual slice of life, I would give this one to Dress Up Darling. Because Blue Box is also like a sports series, kind of. It's like a romance sports series where the guy plays badminton and she plays basketball. And Dress Up Darling is entirely about the characters just hanging out together and making cosplays, and will they, won't they. So yeah, let's give this one to Dress Up Darling. I think my favorite thing here is Spy Family, but I don't think it totally fits the criteria of, like, slice of life. It is a comedy show, but every now and again it also has, like, lore in action, so yeah. Dress Up Darling. Best main character. Oh, I hope Sung Jinu's here. Sung Jinu, Momo, Okarun, Midoriya, Mao Mao, and Rudo. Okay. So even though I haven't seen Apothecary Diaries Season 2, I have seen Season 1, so I can still weigh in on Mao Mao. She's an enjoyable enough character, although one of the things I did not like about Season 1 is that every episode would be a character being like, yo, Mao Mao, here's this problem. What are we gonna do? And Mao Mao being like, this is what happened. And she just knows. She's just omniscient, and she's like, I'm smart, so I figured it all out by the snap of my fingers. And it's like, how'd you do that? Because I did. Oh, okay, cool. I know people really like Mao Mao, though, so I won't hold it against her. I think the person I like the least, I mean, obviously it's Sung Jinu, but then I think my bottom three are Sung Jinu, Mao Mao, and Midoriya, probably. I love Momo and Okarun, and then I really, really like Rudo. There's a scene that was unfortunately changed from Gachiaku to anime, where in the manga, the villain is like trying to like coerce Rudo to join his side. And in the manga, it's this really, really well stylized page of Rudo flipping off the bad guy and being like, "You're a fucking loser with no friends. I'll never join you." And then in the anime, they were like, "Well, due to censorship rules, we can't have it be a middle finger, so he'll give him a thumbs down." And it's like, oh, cringe. Let him fucking let him flip him off. Come on, it's way more badass that it's this like kid lashing out, giving a middle finger than a fucking thumbs down. Don't show his hands do anything instead of a thumbs down. But even then, Rudo's still, I think, my number three. I like Okarun and Momo way more. It's really awesome to have a show with like dual protagonists like that, where I like both of them a lot. I like Momo more than I like Okarun, but Okarun really, really does get his Momo. Okarun really gets his Momo. He gets his moments where I'm like, fuck, this guy is awesome. I love him. I want him. But yeah, I would go Momo, Okarun, Rudo, Midoriya, Mao Mao, Sung Jinu. Best supporting character: Anjin, Gigi, Jinshi, Bakugo, Lulon slash Shisui, and Turbo Granny. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Now, I didn't love Jinchi from season 1. I don't know who Lolon slash Shisui is without seeing them, and I don't care enough to look them up. It's for season 2, so maybe that's only a character in season 2. I don't know. Who cares? Bakugo. I like Bakugo enough. I don't think I would vote for him, though. Enjin, I think, is a dogshit choice. He's really cool when he shows up in episode 2 and, like, fights. But then, even in the manga so far, he has done fuck all ever since. He has done actually nothing. The most interesting thing we know about Enjin going forward is that that's apparently not his real name, and he's lying to his friends. So this vote is like, am I gonna vote for Gigi? Am I gonna go for Turbo Granny? I like Gigi a lot. It was very, very easy for a character like Gigi to annoy the fuck out of me, and for me to think that he sucks dick. But I actually think Gigi is super endearing and likable and fun. Turbo Granny, however, is the whole reason I read Dandadan. I remember opening Instagram.ca, and my buddy Oscar posted a screen cap of Turbo Granny like laying on the couch eating some food. Eating like a fish cake, I think. And I remember responding to him. I'm like, yo, what is this? This looks awesome. I love her. And him being like, oh, it's this. And I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm not going to catch that right now because I'm actually reading this right now. But one day, whenever I get to reading this, I promise you, even if I forget this conversation, I'm going to post this on my story. There's no way I fucking don't do it. And then, however long goes by, I forget that this happened. I'm reading Dandadan, that happens, and I'm like, yo, that fucking Turbo Granny's awesome eating a fish cake. So then I screen cap it, put it on my Instagram story, and then it was after I did this that I then remembered the initial conversation that I was like, holy shit, I was right. I was going to do it no matter what. Free will is not real. So I think I would go Turbo Granny, although Gigi is him. I think, like, if I was gonna rank them, it would be Turbo Granny, Gigi, then I guess Bakugo, and then who gives a fuck about Enjin, and then Jinchi exists. The must protect at all costs character. Okay, so this is the cringe section of the awards. I think I'm almost done then, right? Wasn't this one of the later ones? Anya, Mao Mao, Izuku Midoriya, Kaoruku Waguri, and Takopi. Jesus. I really don't. There's something especially like eye rolly and cringe when it's a boy like Izuku Midoriya, who is like in this season he's like fighting to save the fate of the Earth. He's like, it's beat the bad guy or die, and it's like we need to protect our wholesome being. Shut the fuck up. Anya and Suika are at least little kids, and it's like, okay, yeah, we want it's endearing to feel protective for children. And Takopi, although an alien, is also like a little cute character that you're like, oh, I just want to like, you know, I don't want the bad things to happen to you, Takopi. So Now, I think, I don't know if she's an adult or a teenager, but, and then I don't know anything about Frightened Flower, but I really think Mao Midoriya and the girl from that don't come close to the three children. Uh, Now, Takopi's my goat. Dr. Stone is one of my favorite things of the last like decade, and then Spy Family is also really good. I think last year when I got to this cringe fucking award, I said Anya because season 2 had come out last year. Um, I think I would go for Suika, especially because this season there's spoilers for Doctor Stone season 3. There's a point where everyone on Earth except for Suika gets turned into stone, and she's a little girl and not a scientist like the main cast, and she needs to figure out the scientific formula to turn them back from stone statues. But she's just a little girl, and she has no idea what to do, and she has to survive in the wilderness alone, and it's devastating. And, you know, spoilers, she ends up figuring it out and saving everyone, but like the first scene that happens is when she resurrects the main guy Senku. Is her It takes her years, and so by the end of it, she's no longer a little girl. She's now a teenager, and she awakens him, and he's like, "You did a good job, Suika." And she breaks down crying in his arms, and it's very, very sweet. So yeah, I would give this one to. I would probably, if I was going to rank it, I would do Suika, then Anya, then maybe Takopi. Although it is very, very sweet in Takopi too, because he's such a little. He doesn't know shit about shit, and it's endearing that he's so a beacon of positivity, even though everything is so bad in that show. Best anime song: In Bloom, On the Way, Iris Out, Jane Doe, Rewake R featuring Felix of Stray Kids, and Watch Me. Okay, recently I've actually been getting a lot of TikToks that are like, rank these anime songs without knowing what's next. And in 9 out of 10 of them, it's the song, I'm assuming it's this In Bloom song. If it's the opening song to Season 2 of Apothecary Diaries, where it's in all of them, and it's a great song. From the two nanosecond long clips I'm seeing on TikTok, I'm like, oh, good song. So if I happen to play along with those TikToks, I usually actually put it in like the 3 or 4 spot because I'm like, that's a good song, but I haven't seen the show. Now, recently I've been listening to a lot of On the Way and Iris Out. Even since before I watched the movie, I was listening to a lot of Iris Out. On the Way's great. Jane Doe is also great. It has I think that's the song with Hikaru Utada from Kingdom Hearts specifically on it, so that's a good song also. I think Jane Doe is the song with Hikaru Utada and the guy that does Iris Out. I don't remember Watch Me. And then this song's just okay. Like, it's fine. So, I think I like On the Way more than I like Iris Out, but it's very, very close. And then Jane Doe would get my number 3 spot. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, either way. 3. And then only because I've actually heard the whole thing of Reawake, it would get 4. I don't remember Watch Me. Maybe I just skipped it every time. Oops. Or I only watched it once and never thought it was good enough to keep listening. And then In Bloom's good, but I haven't watched the show, so it loses points for that. But yeah, Iris Out, On the Way, great songs. Best score: Chainsaw Man the movie, Dawn to Dawn, Demon Slayer movie I haven't seen, Apothecary Diaries I haven't seen, Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadow, and Gachiakuta. I will admit the score is something I don't pay a lot of attention to unless it's like songs that repeat a lot. Chainsaw Man the movie, obviously there's the, what's the song called? In the Sea or something? Where she's like teaching Denji how to swim. Or there's that Chainsaw Blood, I think is the song by Vondi that plays during the action scene. That song fucks hard. Iris Out, obviously. Dawn to Dawn, I don't remember any of the songs in the actual show, so I'm not going to vote for that one for once. And then Solo Leveling, I don't remember. Haven't seen the Demon Slayer movie or Apothecary Diaries. Interestingly enough, I do remember the Gachiakuta. Is that oftentimes there would randomly be like interstitial rap songs in the background. So I guess let's vote for that because it's the only one I really remember. Like Chainsaw Man, I was listing things from the soundtrack. I don't know if it's the same as the score. I don't think it is. I'm not movie pilled enough to know what I'm talking about, but I at least remember scenes in Gachi Akuto where I'm like, what the fuck is playing in the background right now? Best opening song. Hugs from Gachi Akuto. Mirage from Call of the Night. I think that's a song from Creepy Nuts, the Bling Bang Born Boys. On the Way from Dawn Season 2. Watch Me from Witch Watch. Reawake from Solo Leveling. And then The Revo from My Hero. I don't remember this song at all. I remember the ending from the final season of My Hero more because it was by the band that did the opening for the first song of Dr. Stone. On the Way is my winner. Hugs is also a very good song though. That's my number 2. I don't fully know if I've heard Mirage or not, but to rank the rest, I don't remember the My Hero song at all. Fuck. So I would go 1 On the Way, 2 Hugs, 3 Mirage if it's the song I'm thinking of. If not, then 3 the Solo Leveling song, and then the other 2 don't matter. Best ending sequence. Now, I'm pretty bad when it comes to ending songs because I'm like, show's over and then I close it. I click next episode and I'm already on the way to the next episode. So the definitely only song I remember here is this My Hero one if it's what I was just talking about. So that'll be my vote. If it's the song by... Is Bump of Chicken the band? It's either Bump of Chicken or Pelican Fan Club, which I like. Saying the names out loud now sounds like I'm losing my mind. I think it's the song by Pelican Fan Club and it's really good. So let's just go with that one. Best voice artist performance in Japanese. I wish it said the characters' names. Also, it doesn't help that quite a few of these I go back and forth on whether or not I watch stuff in English or not. I watched the Chainsaw Man movie in English. I assume Aoi Yuki is the voice for Mao Mao, but I watched that in English. Chiaki Kobayashi, okay, I watched that in Japanese. I watched One Piece in Japanese. So yeah, the only 2 I could vote for was One Piece or Summer Hikaru Died. So if Chiaki is Hikaru, then that could get a vote. But Mayumi Tanaka is also the GOAT voice actress for Luffy. I mean, she's fucking an old lady now, and she's still putting in the goddamn work. Because if Chiaki is main guy, his voice acting performance is a little more boring than Hikaru's. Although he did sell Anguish well. Let's just give it to One Piece because I'm a fucking normie. Alright, I probably am more familiar with these ones. Alexis Tipton, who voiced Reze. Lucian Dodge, I don't know, I didn't watch that movie. Emmy Lowe, I think that's Mao Mao. Morgan Berry for fucking Sonda. God. Paul Castro Jr. in Hikaru. I watched that. Justin Briner. Paul Castro Jr., the only thing I've ever heard him in, at least off the top of my head, is as Kid Vegeta in Dragon Ball Daima, and I unfortunately think he does a not very good job because he sounds like he's just trying to ape Chris Sabat's performance, and it sounds bad. Alexis Tipton was good. Emmy Lowe was good in season. Justin Briner is really good. People like to make fun of the Justin Briner Deku voice, but I think the fact that it's so iconic you want to make fun of it is actually a good thing. Holy shit, I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna look up who Morgan Berry is, though. Because if it's the main person I'm interested to see. Morgan Berry. Oh, she voiced the main girl in Sonda. Yeah, okay. She did a pretty good job in that. I think I would give this one to my man Justin Briner for voicing Izuku Midoriya. If I was going to rank them, then I think the performance that he had to do as Deku, not even just the whole time, but also in season 8. Justin Briner is also very good in Dr. Stone as Ginro. He plays a little rat coward so good that when I was reading Gachi Akuta, there's a character called Fu who I was like, he would sound just like Ginro. And unfortunately, They didn't cast Justin Briner as that character, you know, that's just in my brain. But the guy they did get was also very good. But so I haven't seen Lucy and Dodge. I don't know who he voices in that movie. Haven't watched the dub for Hikaru. Haven't watched season 2 for Apothecary Diaries. Morgan Berry and Alexis Tipton are good, but I think Briner takes it. So I think I would go Justin Briner number 1, then Tipton, then Morgan Berry, then Emmy Lowe. At least based off season 1 Emmy Lowe. Oh, is that the last one? Yeah, that's the last category, and I just kind of blue balled by it being the end and me not knowing. So yeah, I'm not prepared for the video to be over. Who am I if I'm not recording a video? Whatever. So that was me going through the Crunchyroll 2026 Anime Awards. If you disagree with any of my picks, I guess feel free to send me a bag of shit in the mail. But if you agree with me or chat for that, you're actually awesome, because my opinion's the correct one to have. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I guess. I'm probably not going to react to the awards this year, because it was 3 hours last year, and they mostly spoke Japanese, and the whole time it's just me being like, what are they saying? Haha, I don't speak this language. Yeah, anyway. I will maybe I'll just do a short follow-up where I like look at the winners and be like, how could they pick this? This is an outrage. Or they picked what I wanted, so it's based. Okay, I always fuck up ending videos, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. I love you, Bakugo.